oil stream presented to you by Boston Pizza. I think you still do patio season. It's going to be like 31 degrees this weekend.
It's still, this is late summer heat.
We're still crushing patios, man. Simple as that.
Yeah, we are.
Let's see here. What's the patio menu looking like? Oh, yeah, this is the line. This is any occasion is a BP patio occasion. Hop in a BP patio today to try their new summer menu, fresh eats and drinks to fuel all of your sunny patio hangs. The Boston Pizza folks are going to be doing a heck of a lot more with the oil this year. So that's really nice. That's what happens. They test it out with us and it goes really well, and then they want to do more with the big club.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, Weathers.
Team that doesn't need more money.
Hey, Shipton, toss a few bucks our way.
Yeah, a few shekels.
Give us Stoff once a week on the oil stream. We don't want to have to pay him $500 like those other guys.
Yeah.
All right, you can text us anytime at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. I mean, I have to say, the new look on the oil stream
it's clean.
Might be my favorite of all the new looks. And I like them all. Trev did a really good job on all of them. The hangout look is cool with the bricks in the background. The two guys is like nice, bright and yellow, and then mixing in the black. But I don't know. There's something about this oil stream look that I love it. I absolutely love it.
It looks great.
Yeah. I think it's tremendous.
Very clean, nice. I'm still amazed at how graphically inclined you are.
Well, I didn't do these graphics.
I know, but like in general, like yesterday you were tweaking stuff.
Well, I changed a bunch.
But like, and you know all the setups and stuff like that. Like, I looked at it, I was like, what a
Tommy, I know
computer wizard.
I know that when you look at me, it's not the first thing you think of, but I am a bit of a nerd. It's true. I know people look at me and they're like, wow, what a athletic,
dominant,
handsome man with just so much swag, probably kills it with the ladies. But here I am I'm just sitting here as a broadcast nerd. That's it. Like I hate to break your heart, buddy, but that's your friend.
My heart.
Your friend is a nerd.
It just adds to the layers that is the tiramisu that we call Dustin Nielsen.
As Matt Gawley says, more than just a hat rack.
Oh,
that is true. That's a great saying.
That's a good one.
Yeah, isn't that one that like your grandma and like parents used to say a long time ago? Oh, it looks like you're more than just a hat rack. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
My God, mind you, I think that like, what do you like? Modern day lingo or like lingo back when we were growing up?
You know what? Lingo, any era, generation, even the stuff now the kids are saying, like, if you think about it, it is pretty silly. Back in the day, the old school back in the day stuff, the hat rack thing, like there was. It seems like there was more of a cleverness to it.
I liked saying "rad" back in the day.
That
was rad, man. Like,
remember Nards?
I don't Nards. Oh, like your balls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, you hit me right in the Nards.
Nards.
You know what? Nards was a good one.
Gnarly was a good one. Like,
you got me in the Nards, man.
Yeah. Oh, you took one in the Nards. They're all silly. If you think about it, like they're all silly and they're all very
give us some more 90s slang.
Yeah.
Dude was big back then. Dude was around and then it came back.
Yeah.
That was a big one. My buddy Robbie Laidlaw and I take a lot of credit. We tried to take credit for the dude renaissance. Like, because nobody was saying it for a while. And then in like 2001, we were in university. And we started saying it a lot. And then everybody else started saying it. So we kind of think that we brought the word dude back. But
you guys did.
Yeah, just me and Robbie.
Full credit.
Me and Robbie Laidlaw.
You and Robbie Laidlaw.
Yeah, I want you to tell people, like, around a campfire next summer and being like, man, I know the guy who brought the word dude back. It was Dusty and his buddy Robbie Laidlaw, the Blue Jackets fan.
In Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, that's probably where it was.
Oh, what was one? Like,
VR Montenegro says fresh and bogus.
Bogus.
I remember saying bogus. I never used fresh. I think fresh might have been after my cool talk period, maybe.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, I had another one that I was thinking of. Brother is the one that's very hot right now.
Oh, people say, oh, what's up, brother?
Hey, brother.
Brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
Good to see you, brother. And I use it too. I like that because it's kind of like complimentary. But if you were like demeaning someone, you'd be like, come on, brother, that's brutal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's different.
Like, yeah.
Come on.
And then, like, remember when, what was it with, like for ladies, they're using, was it Demure now?
Demure,
And then
cool.
for guys, it was all bespoke.
What's that even mean?
It's stupid.
Bespoke.
Get
What
rid of
is
it.
that like a term to describe somebody?
It was like if you're getting clothing,
he's
oh,
very
your dress
bespoke.
is very bespoke. That suit is bespoke.
Let's just say this. He dresses like a fancy boy. All right. That's way easier than bespoke.
Or that's a sharp dressed man. She looks elegant.
Man, I gotta get
Lovely.
to I gotta get to this text.
What?
Dusty, how did you get Zorro to co-host with you today? Just kidding. I think the goatee looks great, Tom. Was the
Can
Zorro
you
thing, is
see
that
it?
from the Hangout?
It was from the Hangout.
Did Belzy say that?
He did.
Classic Belzy.
is.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, it's got to be from the Hangout. And I knew Maddie wasn't chirpy enough to come up with a Zorro chirp on you.
Yeah.
But
No.
Zorro? I know. Belzy for sure.
He
Like,
did come up with that.
are you going for a Zorro look? Like, what's happening here?
Sure. Blonde Zorro. for
I
the
think it
rest of the
looks
week.
good, yeah.
Thank you. Like you looked at it.
As soon
saw
as
it
you
today.
walked in today.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, when we were sitting here today, when you were walking up the stairs, I said to Gage, I said, I think Tommy's got a goatee today. And sure enough, you walked in and I was right. It's like Trev with haircuts. I can tell when people have a goatee even when they're not in the room. Yeah. That's one of my talents.
You are.
You should keep it for the ESTYs.
Oh, no.
I want to see you at the ESTYs with a 2.5 week goatee.
It'll look like a rat died
I think
on my
it'll
face.
look. I think it'll look sick,
Awful.
buddy.
Awful. Tube Socks says Tube Socks approved to the graphics incorporating his logos.
Yeah.
Which he did a phenomenal job with.
Yeah, like Trev taking the city outline on all of TubeSock's graphics and mix it into all of our shots. Brilliant move.
Yes.
Brilliant move. Absolutely love it. I had some people be like, guys, I don't understand the S1260. Like, it's our little way of living. 1260 lives on.
Yes.
Established 1260.
Yeah.
That's
And that's been in the logo almost since the beginning. Like at first it wasn't in there, and then I think you or Maddie or Rick might have said, let's get the ESTY.
yeah. It was like, yeah, you know what? I think it's a nice
And-
little sort of tribute. Now it's blown up. It's on the main logo too. It's just a little bit smaller.
Correct. And it's a bit of a double entendre because we are EST.
But yeah, exactly.
It's
it works
kind
out
of
really
nice.
well.
It works on a couple of different
Yeah.
levels. So
Yeah, I love good double entendre.
it's
Right?
it's cleverness.
It's very clever.
Yeah.
Double entendres are like the definition of clever. Moist Man texts in and says, what about, I like the cut of your jib.
That's an old one.
That's one of my favorite phrases to use.
Yeah.
Nobody uses that anymore, really, I don't think.
No. Gordfather texting in saying, Tommy, it's bruh and brev now, bro, not brother.
Brev.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. Gord
And-
says he's got two 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
They must be twins. He says Brev. What's up, Brev?
Hey, brev.
That doesn't even make sense. It's not even play on brother.
But is it for
I can
girls?
see bro. Oh, Brev?
Bro was a big
female?
one. Bro was a big one.
Bro was big. I used to remember.
Yeah, bruh.
You know who established a lot of the cool talk in the 90s? The Ninja Turtles.
Yes, they did. Bodacious,
Oh,
gnarly. That's
tubular.
Trevor and Airdrie.
Like
Tubular.
so many good ones. So, all right, 780. Yeah, see, Mojis 2.0 says, what's happening, Brev? What is that? That doesn't even make sense. Trev. Just ask Trev if he uses the word Brev.
No, he says no.
See, and Trev's the coolest of our two young guys.
Yeah. Well, that's
No,
evident.
nobody's ever used Brev. It's not even a thing. We're making that up. All right, 780-218-9999. We got a few things to discuss.
Really quickly, I know in the nasty chat, people are asking for a kitten update. My parents had it
So
straight.
this is a Hangout thing too. I got to start listening to the Hangout. Sorry, boys. I was
This
busy.
is morning show.
morning show. Yeah, yesterday I was talking about it.
Oh, okay. I guess I got to start listening to that one too.
It's a good show.
Sorry, boys.
You'll like it, trust me.
I'm busy.
Eva G, I was like, I kind of forgot about the cat. So I said, what's the latest with the kitten? Because yesterday or on Monday, everything was
Your
closed.
mom forgot about the cat?
Oh,
you did.
I
Okay,
hadn't gotten an update on it. And she said, working with some lady to find someone to take her. If she doesn't come through, we will take him to a shelter. So she dropped a her. We thought it was a she.
Why don't you just look?
And then I don't know. That's not our forte. Let's take a look. My mom says he playfully knocked down many things in the garage last night. I took him outside on the patio and he followed me back to the garage with I don't know emoji. And I said, it's a he? And she said, I don't know. Scratching things a lot. Good thing it's in the garage.
Well, you know what we've confirmed here? It's a cat.
We know it's a nice cat.
That is a cat that you just described to me. Like, I love it.
Brett B says, Tommy Bubbles Bartholomew Gazzola with all his kitties. I'm not a cat person. I said it on the show yesterday, but this cat, like, and listen, there's a lot of coyotes in my parents' neighborhood because it's a really new area.
Oh, this thing's dead if your parents don't
If we
save
left it out there,
Yeah.
poor cat would have been toast. I mean, it's quick and limber, but those coyotes they got a couple of geese, my dad was saying. The one, like the geese that were injured or whatever.
Did I tell you the cat story about my parents?
No.
Okay, quick cat story.
Yes.
I was telling this to the boys yesterday, coincidentally. Hernan and Gage, I think. So my dad, this came up yesterday because Reed's off-topic. Like, what a good segment.
Great
The
segment.
off-topic topic. It gets people talking. I'm very excited for both shows today. ESTY afternoons with Hernan and Gage. Like, all the guys have been here for hours working on their shows. There's a reason they're better than all the other stuff that we do. They're really prepping hard for these shows. It's great.
It's great.
Maddie, why's your hand like that? What's going on? You're really scaring me.
No, sorry. Can I jump in here?
Yes, of course. If you're going to hold your
no.
hand like this the whole
This
time.
is about the CFL.
Oh.
They announced the Week 13 honor roll, and the receiver's Curly Gittins Jr.
What?
Is one like the MBT's there, which makes sense. How was like Tevin Jones or
Tevin Jones had 2
200.
touchdowns and over 200 yards.
or Eugene Lewis who had a touchdown? Not like Week 13 honor roll is Curly Gittins Jr. as a receiver.
That would make me go like this.
I'm just so confused.
Well,
Yeah.
did they announce that they took away like the 81-yard fumble from like his receiving total or something? No. But he still had 2 touchdowns and 2 peace signs.
That was ballsy. Like the first one, it got taken down at the one. By the way, I laughed as soon as I heard you mix in the what is happening.
Oh yeah, I had
got
to.
it in there very quickly.
I've only mixed in like 2 or 3 all year. We're at week 13.
That was great.
And I saw that bounce out, and when Jones took off, I had to do it.
It slid in
I
there.
had to do it. Yeah,
very smoothly.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
But then he did it again on the touchdown, which was a
And
redemption
he
story.
managed to. When he did it again, I was like, oh no, you better not get caught this time.
And he
That was
broke
tough.
that plane.
Anyway, quick cat story.
Okay.
So my dad had a skunk in his backyard in Cranbrook, and he's like, I'm going to catch this skunk. So he got like a skunk catching trap or something like that. And like the next day, it looked like something been caught.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we've got the skunk. We've got it.
HR
It's
daddy.
it's a thing. We've got
Hunter.
the skunk. And they didn't want to kill the skunk. So they drove it way out past our old farm onto like rangeland. And we're like, we'll set the skunk free. And we'll give the skunk a new life.
Beautiful.
Maybe he'll bump into a lady skunk and we'll have a little skunk family.
Like Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, pretty much. So they get the skunk, they take it all the way out to the range, and they open it up, they put it up, they open it up, and they kind of open it up for the skunk to run away. And the neighbor's cat runs out and runs into the woods. Gone. Gone. He's like, yeah, so we caught the neighbor's cat and released it into the woods.
Is the neighbor still the neighbor?
I don't know, but I hope the neighbor doesn't watch the show.
Oh my goodness. That is
So good.
wow. HR daddy, that's a violation of some sort.
I know.
That's a
I was just like,
neighborhood
I said,
watch
well, did you try to
violation.
catch it? Because I'm not going to catch a cat in a forest. Like, there's no chance. So anyway, I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Poor
that
cat.
cat was probably destroyed 3 days later. I'm like, tough road. I mean, maybe the cat hated living where it lived and it was happy to get away. Nobody knows, but yeah, there's a cat story that you got to be careful for.
that's something.
So, yeah. All right. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
The Edmonton Oilers, Leon Draisaitl. The deal gets done. 8 years, $14 million. Fans got to love the term.
Yeah.
I think fans got to be pretty happy with the $14 million. I mean, that's what these guys are going to continue to get paid as the cap goes up. All in all, I mean, I really don't see many ways to critique this Draisaitl contract. Do you?
No, really. It was handled appropriately. It does end up being 8 years. He was asked about, term, and yes, they had discussed. Remember, we were saying here on the Oil Stream that 5 years was an option or 8 years. AAV would come into play depending if you want to go longer. Maybe he could have gotten a little bit more if he went shorter term. He sets the bar again for the highest paid player. Connor McDavid will reset it next summer. We know that. This locks in pretty much unofficially. Connor McDavid, you said it on the show
Has to.
yesterday, and you could hear the collective sigh of relief and the gasp. It's good. It's done in oil country in central Alberta. And I do like Chris Johnston wrote a really good article basically outlining the timeline on The Athletic that gives you an idea how things went. I appreciate Leon Draisaitl and saying, I don't want this to drag into camp. and let's get it done, or waits till the end of the season. And by the end of the season, that's trouble because maybe they're talking about a trade, and that's a natural progression that happens in the NHL with pending unrestricted free agent superstars, right? And that gets people really tense and nervous, especially in those particular markets. This one would be an absolute frenzy, as we know. The other thing too with the Draisaitl thing, like I was saying it, and I was told last month or maybe even late July, it's like the principles of the deal, the framework has been laid, and it was just a matter of agreeing to and fine-tuning the last details. They clearly got that taken care of.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that could be like how it's going to be paid out in bonuses and that type of stuff, right? Like they could have come and said, you know, 14 mil is going to be the number. Let's figure out how to make that work.
Exactly. But the framework had been put in place. Did the player want to stay here? Obviously, the answer is yes, and he reiterated that. We played it on the Lock Shop yesterday, the live Zoom call, and he talked about he just wants to wear the orange and blue. And
I thought it was a really encouraging availability there for Oilers fans. Like, you already got him. You already got him for 8 years.
Yeah.
9, a year left. So you're going to have this guy for the next 9 years. But I thought he probably won even more people over with the way that he handled himself in that call.
Hey, he's good. He's a smart guy. He knows how to work the crowd. I mean, when he drops an F-bomb in his on-ice post-game interview.
Become a hero.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he knows he's a smart guy. He's a great hockey player, and he's being paid appropriately for it. And at the end of the day, the Oilers lock up their superstar, homegrown talent, and I think it's a win-win all around. And now it's a matter of getting that third win, which is that nice big silver trophy that they give out in late June now.
Yeah, and we'll discuss about expectations for how many they might bring in over the next 9 to 10 years with him sticking around. I just like Mojis 2.0 over in the Nasty Chat. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube today, let's hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be great. Sub to the channel if you haven't already past that 10.1K, so that's great. And yeah, if you like the new look on Oil Stream, hammer the thumbs up for us today. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at Edmonton sportstalk.com. You can text us, of course, at 780-218-9999. But yeah, Mojis over there basically says, where is here? Boston and Vegas fans thought they had a chance.
LA was another name, team name that was being thrown around.
Yeah,
potentially from Dallas, we heard things.
Like, how could you have a chance when Draisaitl is going to want big bucks, and the Oilers have that, and he didn't want to be a contender, and none of those teams that you listed, in my opinion, when you have Draisaitl and the Oilers, are a better contender than what the Edmonton Oilers are. Like, it would have been one of those rare situations where, sometimes a free agent will leave and go to a spot and take the money, and it doesn't look as ideal, or maybe the interest wasn't there in some of these big teams. I don't think there was a better spot for Leon Draisaitl to go to. Like, this always had to get done. I always felt like it was going to get done. I know some people got nervous. I know people got nervous at times, but I don't know if anybody legitimately thought he was going to leave. I'm like, not in this market. I think outside of the market, people might have looked at it and gone, well, but and Wyshynski said that today. He said there's a lot of people in the States that thought he actually might leave. But in this market, it was a fun discussion to have. Mm-hmm. And I think people were like remotely nervous about it.
I think
I don't think anybody ever thought he was going to leave.
No. I hopped on yesterday with Matthew Cause, and he asked about that, and I said, the younger generation of Oilers fans now, they don't really they know what happened to the star players that left in the 80s and 90s or after the Gretzky era, all these guys being sold off or shipped out, and then that for guys like and girls like us, 30s, maybe late 20s. Obviously 40s, the scar of Doug Weight leaving, Bill Guerin having to be traded because he was going to be too expensive for the Oilers. They got rid of Billy Ranford, but they brought Cujo in. They could only have Cujo for 2.5 years before he, got bigger bucks at home in Toronto. I think Joaquin Gage drove Cujo out, to be honest with you. Just
gotta make room.
He can't work with that guy. Just kidding. Like that scar was there. So for that era of fan, there's that concern, and that was a different generation in time in the National Hockey League. So I think when we would see the text coming in or the nasty chat, my assumption would be that it was coming from those Oilers fans from that certain vintage that recall and are always reminded, or it's in the back of their mind that, well, it's only Edmonton and we always hear about how it's so cold and it's not the best, sexiest city to live in. Yeah, sure. Same, it's a good city, has everything, but it's cold as balls in the winter. And no, it's not as glamorous and glitzy as Boston or an LA or a Dallas or whatever. We know that. But the situation like you described, for this player to get paid more than appropriately what he's worth, he would have to hate this city and this team to want to walk away.
It would have to be like such a horrible situation to want to leave, because they came within one game of winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
You're going to get paid. He got paid. He's the highest paid player in the National Hockey League. Daryl Cates will find a way to make these guys happy financially. It's just that easy. That's what's going to happen. So why would you go anywhere when this just in to the Bruins and the Kings and the Leafs fans out there? The Oilers are a way better team than your team. It's that simple. Why would the guy leave to go there? It makes no sense. And the Nature Boy's in and says, how delusional are Boston fans, Toronto fans, and LA fans, not to mention sports writers, thinking that Leon was going to sign with them and leave his best chance to win a Stanley Cup playing with the best player in the world, who is also his best friend. And I know somebody in the Nasty chat, I think, was already saying, like, Toronto fans still think they have a crack at Connor McDavid. And
I like the people suggesting
ya.
that was McDavid trying to get Matthews over to the Oilers.
also not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
But yeah, Connor McDavid is not coming to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I hate to break it to you. He's not leaving. His best friend just signed here on an 8-year deal. And I know if I was working at a place with like my absolute best friend, like Glenn Suter, and Glenn Suter was like, Dusty, guess what? I'm sticking around for 8 more years. And then I'm going to say, all right, well, I'm in for 8 more years too. And that's what you do with your best friends. You have these conversations. So they're not going anywhere. I mean,
Have you had those conversations?
With Suits?
I like how you just chimed in there.
Well, actually, I think Suits has only got like 2 years left on his deal.
Uh-oh.
So have you had any conversations yet?
No, I just plan on leaving when he leaves.
Perfect.
I'm just going with.
Sorry, Eddie.
Suits, are you retiring? I'm retiring too.
All right.
Because that's what friends do.
Great run, though.
Got to have it. But yeah,
great
I had a good 6-year run or whatever it was been at that point.
Excellent 6 years.
That's it.
I'm very proud of you.
That's enough for me.
Yeah.
On to the next one. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in on this conversation. But yeah, McDavid's, it's going to be a glorious day. Do you think, yesterday we talked about this on Two Guys where the conversation started, but like since 1990, since the last Stanley Cup, what was the best day in franchise history? Number 1, McDavid lottery.
Yeah.
Is yesterday number 2? Because Draisaitl is going to be coming with McDavid.
It's significant now. Is it much of a wow factor? It is. There is a wow factor that comes with it. Yeah, that's got to be up
the
there.
The lottery was number 1. Like winning Connor McDavid in a bloody lottery. Had to be number 1.
You know what? I still always like to point to stuff on the ice, but you talk about the franchise as a whole. I go, well, getting to the conference final in 2006, getting to the Stanley Cup final and clinching in Game 5 there. That's a huge day. Clinching against Dallas to go to the Stanley Cup final this past spring. That's a huge day too. But you're right.
But now it's like reloaded for another decade.
You can have that happen multiple times now. Yeah.
Coach C says, guys, the best day was a Game 6 win 2 months ago.
See, that's what I mean. I like the on the ice stuff, but this in terms of overall impact, it's huge.
Surpasses that. I honestly think it does.
There's a double entendre. You talk about it, and you said it yesterday. You pretty much lock in McDavid. Draisaitl also talked about it yesterday, and he said, yes, the two of them have had these discussions naturally. If they're that tight, which they are. You saw the bromance between them in full effect at the wedding in the photos that were published by Vogue, which I'm sure were sold for a pretty penny by the McDavids.
God, imagine making money off your wedding.
Smart business.
Instead of just paying tens of thousands of dollars for your wedding.
Smart business.
Brilliant move. Brilliant move.
Well done.
Speaking of selling photos, we are actually planning on selling the photo rights to the ESTYs, and we won't be able to post any of them on our own.
Yeah.
Whoever purchases the photo rights of the ESTYs can do whatever they want with them.
Talk to Sandor.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
The Avenue.
Hey, you throw them out. Be a big deal.
Hey.
Yeah, just a magazine spread on the ESTYs.
4-page.
Might be something you want to look at.
Hot around the city. Hot on the town.
if you don't have your tickets to the ESTYs yet, what are we even doing here?
Let's go.
Email matt@edmontonsportstalk.com. Tuesday, September 17th, we are going to be at the Garneau Theater for the first annual ESTYs Award Show. And you can join us. Glue Guy's getting the red carpet set up.
Yeah. Maddie showed me the trophies.
Black tie. Are the trophies here?
They're actually getting delivered to my place
Beautiful.
today.
Beautiful.
Assembly required.
They look
Assembly
awesome.
required.
So
I offered to help.
Well, you guys live together, right?
I will say
Well,
this.
same building, yeah.
They said to make sure it travels safely, so there's no damage.
They're bubble wrapped.
They were gonna
Guaranteed.
be-
Listen,
put
everybody,
in.
we got to be careful with our ESTYs. I guarantee an ESTY gets broken at the after party.
You want to know
prestigious.
the ones we picked? I could see where they could break.
Yeah, they're a little bit taller.
Well, they're not like they're not
nice.
solid.
Yeah.
It's got a nice little spiral design to it. I could see that spiral could possibly get damaged. So they said, out of caution to make sure nothing breaks,
Yeah, of
they
course.
said with all the tools as well to put it in. They sent me a nice email yesterday saying, we're sending you with the tools. Just want to give you a heads up, but we're sending these today.
There's a special tool. Where'd you order them, IKEA?
No, I don't know if they're special tools.
is that
but
a Lloyd?
They're just giving me the tools.
We got them at a Lloyd?
Yeah.
This is a company that's out of Lloyd. It's actually
What?
fascinating to me.
I thought it was like some big sort of online company. I didn't know it
Shout
was
out
at
to
a
the
Lloyd.
Border City.
And they've been around, like when I looked for info on this place, they've been around for a bit, for over 45 years.
It's awesome.
What?
The Trophy Gallery has served Lloydminster and surrounding areas for over 45 years.
See, if you can keep a company going for 45 years, you could one day partner with us on the ESTYs. It's pretty impressive.
Going to be a magical night.
That's a good way to describe it. A magical night.
All of our events have been a lot of fun.
Well, I said that this morning on Nielsen show. Like, the golf tournament was a smash hit. Shout out, Maddie.
Yes.
We're definitely doing that again. It's
Have to.
gonna sell out immediately. It was amazing.
Fantastic.
Everybody who's there is gonna want to
I
come
don't
back.
know. I don't know how I top it. I'm worried.
You know
I
what?
mean, as long as you
If
do
we
that
just
same level
reach
again, I
that
mean,
same level, yeah.
simple enough. As long as Tommy's crying for part of the day, it's gonna be fun.
Those were happy tears.
I know, but still,
I was like,
mean,
we did it. We got
sad
through
tears,
a year.
happy
Like,
tears. There's
yeah.
got to be tears at the tournament.
Thanks for telling people I cried. Happy
We're
tears.
on our second nasty, but we did our second nasty bash, smash hit.
That was fantastic.
So we're definitely doing a nasty bash again. So as long as the ESTYs are awesome, we're gonna run it back again, right? It's how it's gonna work. So very excited for this. Very excited.
Nasty Bash was a great time.
How's the whole like PowerPoint and everything?
I got to still do
You
all
haven't
that.
done any of that yet.
Well, because I don't even have finalists or anything.
Because in a PowerPoint, you can put
We'll have
in
those
like the
Thursday.
voice of
Well,
God right
I've-
on there, right? Like
well, I've done
now
it-
to present like.
Oh, I didn't even think about that part. I could get things
He's a
pre-voiced.
PowerPoint master.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even think. I was
You
thinking
should
that
be able to
would-
get the pre-voice so that it comes on PowerPoint and
absolutely.
you just hit play.
No, absolutely. No, I know that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought I would get like on the mic. I would just do it on the side.
I mean, you could also do that.
But I don't
also
want
like
that.
you hiding on the mic, like talking like
And now to present.
now to
Well,
present.
I have started like I found. I'm not showing it on camera. People don't need to see.
No.
But I've got
I love
like
it. I love it.
Oh,
like I just wanted to see what it would look like.
that is
Exactly what it should
classy.
look like.
Yes.
So and then
And that would be up on the. Oh my god! Oh my god!
and then there's the presenter, and then I've got here's the nominees,
And then you put them in there.
and then they show up,
Oh
As
my
they
god!
come.
that looks so good.
and then when it's announced, the winner is blank, and then it would come to, boom.
Wow,
a medallion.
that is so
Well, then
cool.
there's also it flips to the other side, so I could use it. I could mix it up, and then I also have just a thank you at the end.
That is amazing.
So I have like the process for this underway. I just need to build it.
That
I
looks
need-
awesome, dude.
I need to figure out.
and that'll be up on where the theater is.
And then
like,
they have the
Yeah.
nice red drapes, and then I think they have the huge
So-
screen. Like, right, we're gonna be
it's
using.
on.
well, okay, so
That looks so nice.
I don't want
gonna
to
be so
steal
good.
too much of the oil stream here right now.
Ah, whatever.
No, this is fine.
Nothing happened.
There's
this
a few
week.
things on the few things on the ESTYs. I think on either late this week or early next week, I'm going to unveil on the Hangout the finalists for each category.
Oh my god!
I think we'll unveil. all
that's
four.
fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
So
Yeah.
people know going in, and then
like
I
a
will-
whole ST show on the one hangout.
I'd say I might have Millard in on Friday, but he might not be able to. And if it's not, it's just Jay and I. And I might just have Jay and I sit there and we could just unveil the entire
It
ESTYs
doesn't
because
matter.
there's 22 awards or 23.
A few of us can pop in briefly for some events.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's one thing I want to say. The other thing is I am working. It's. I'll tell you after the cost of it, but we're gonna have the marquee filled out.
Yes.
You're going to tell me after the cost of it?
Hernandez.
it's
All
nothing.
right.
Oh, really?
It's like nothing to get that second line.
We should always just have it up. We should just get that second line all the time as like our billboard.
Yeah.
Just like, check it out, www.edmontonsportstalk.com.
I got to finalize that. We do need to talk about the idea of having a show run from there. There's a cost to that one. So I don't know
A
if you
show run? What do you mean?
want the afternoon show from out there.
Oh, we should definitely do that.
There's a cost. They're charging.
From them?
Yeah. They're
For like
charging.
rental.
The theater?
Yeah.
Can't we just do it outside?
So where else did I need to go? So I do need to figure out just a few more presenters. But the big thing I'm worried about is when we do this, I need to play music in between.
Yeah.
And how am I going to play that music?
Bluetooth off your phone.
Can you do that in the PowerPoint too?
But I would need to be able to fade it. Like, hey, if somebody's talking for a long time, I need to play them
Oh,
off.
you got to play them off. Yeah.
And for the music that we're going to play, I'll mix a little Whale of the Wolf. But I think I'm just going goal songs and stuff all night.
That makes sense.
That's a great idea.
That's probably the best idea.
But I've got a couple presenters, like EST people are presenting here. Clausen says he's going to present.
Good.
I have a couple. I need
Marshall and the Muzz want to present.
Yes, they're marked in my list.
Yeah. They were arguing about it yesterday. They're like, Muzz is like, I want to be the one that reads the winner. And Marshall was just like, fine.
Why don't they
I'll
read it
read the
together,
nominees. Well, he wants to read, like, Marshall read the nominees and the Muzz can read them. I guess they could read it together.
The winner, like you go, the winner is. She could read the winner is, and together they could be like.
Let's say the name. Unfortunately, neither of them can barely read, so it's gonna be tough.
We've got a dilemma.
Yeah, so I've got it slowly working away.
That's great.
I have the.
Well done.
We're not.
That looks better. That looks perfect.
We are not announcing who the 4 panelists are.
No. Like the
staying
voting
anonymous
voting
forever.
members. Yeah.
Secret.
But
Yeah.
they're all good. I'm gonna start dealing with that. Smooth.
Matt Gawley says, "What about Matty just walks up on the stage carrying a cassette boombox to play people off?"
So where I'm concerned is wherever I have to set up this. I'm hoping the PowerPoint will be just off stage.
Yeah.
Because then I can hand the awards and the envelopes and run the PowerPoint all by right there.
Well, I mean, we could find somebody to help you.
But if
of
not,
course.
then somebody. But I don't trust anyone running the PowerPoint.
What about Eva G?
I know you don't.
Eva G.
I wouldn't
I don't
Anybody
trust anyone
anyway.
running the PowerPoint part of it. So I need someone to run the envelopes and the trophies out to people.
Well, could you not just put a table there and then you just have them set up? And,
Do you see that
No,
at the
outside,
Grammys?
behind,
Yeah.
in the back.
No.
And then you just point at them. The presenter just
I'll have
grabs it.
it.
Like the person comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It's going to be awesome.
I don't know.
So, yeah, it's good. As Norman at Combine refers to it, the ultimate award show. Like that. ESTYs.
We can call
the
it whatever.
ultimate award show.
I'm hoping you're there, Norm. I'm hoping you're there.
Oh, God, it's going to be so fun. So make plans. Tuesday, September 17th, after party at Hudson's on White. And we won't be back on the air until 9 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah, I think at this moment, I feel like we're trending towards 200.
That's awesome.
Are you serious?
I actually have been sending people that have purchased tickets, and everyone else I'm going guest list.
Yeah.
I think I'll create some tickets for everyone else, and I'll send them. They're customized.
You think we're going to hit
and stuff.
200 people?
I think as of right now,
You know, if we had 200 people and we just make everybody sit in the middle and not on the sides,
Yeah.
it'll be pretty full.
Give everybody prime seating.
I will
'Cause
say
think
when
it
I look
seats
at
like 500
tickets-
people.
Yeah,
There's an
it does,
upper
yeah.
deck, right? Like,
I think I sold the 100th ticket today, and then for our guest list for EST and stuff. What I
that'd
have
be
it
pretty
listed
high,
at,
yeah.
we're at about 50, I think there.
Yeah, so we got 2 weeks left. So
yeah.
And there's gonna be a buzz. I had somebody else text us
It's gonna be a
today.
buzz. Oh, this is so good.
It's a hot ticket.
As we get on that Monday, there's gonna be a little bit of a push.
Okay. Yeah.
I wish they would have killed 1265 years ago. Can you imagine if we're going to ESTYs 4? Come on, that would have been absolutely insane.
Could you imagine if we took this to the old place and said we want to
Oh
do the
yeah, that's gonna go over.
Nope.
They couldn't even find us a room to meet in.
Those are
We're
great
gonna do
meetings.
something like this. Like, come on. All right, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. If you want to get your tickets to the ESTYs, I know if you're listening on the Ocean podcast, you're like, guys, come on, we just talk about when Bouchard's deal gets done. We will.
Yeah, that's down
but
the road.
Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Portions of this show are brought to you by Popeyes, where they now have the choice between the bone-in wings and the all-white meat boneless wings with a milder milder flavor.
You write those.
I did write
Yeah,
this.
I
also
know,
had
and I
one
was
of those
reading-
finished long drinks today, though.
Oh, you did? Are you buzzing?
They're good.
Are you white girl wasted?
No, I don't think so. Like they're good. I like them.
It's a grapefruit sparkling water.
It is delicious.
yeah,
what it
that's
tastes
kind of
like
what
to
it
me.
is.
Long drink.
Yeah, finished long. Man, the Finns know what. And look, Finnish people drink.
Do they ever?
I could tell you stories about Yanni Niinema at the world's longest hockey game that you'll never ever forget.
I remember really quickly watching like two 65-year-olds making out on a bus shelter bench at 5:30 in the morning in Helsinki, the day after
course.
the last game of the World Championships.
Yep.
And they were
about
just
right.
having themselves a time.
Finland, man.
Lots of long drinks that night, I'll tell you.
The greatest award show ever. With the success of their current wings platform, they're continuing with the boneless, all the same sauces. Signature hot, honey garlic, honey barbecue, garlic parm, as well as classic. These are your spicy headlines. I guess Draisaitl would have been the spiciest of the headlines. But what happens now with Evan Bouchard, do you think, Tommy? What's the plan?
Again, I'll put. We know this, like the Broberg Holloway situation, obviously kind of took attention away from getting this deal done with Leon and hammering it home and making it ready to go by the time guys started rolling around for camp. So that delayed things a little bit. Now that this is done, because it became priority number one, or was priority number one, but something pressing like the offer sheet situation was calling and beckoning them for attention. So they took care of that. Yes, now they can shift the focus to Bouchard. And Draisaitl said he didn't want to have discussions and negotiations during the season. Might not be the case for Bouchard. Bouchard, and quite likely just his agent, will let his
RFA, right? So
yeah, and he'll let his agent give him the details when he needs them. It's a significant contract for Evan Bouchard, obviously, but it's not his. I'm in my prime. I have one more chance at knocking one out of the park. This is leading up to that. He's going to get paid a healthy amount, and but it feels like, and it seems like they have more time to work on it and kind of harness and deal with it in a less hectic time frame.
do you think Oilers fans should be worried about Bouchard going off this year and coming in at $11.5 to $12 million after hanging back-to-back 80-point seasons out there?
I think the ask could be there.
I think the ask is probably already there. Like, because Rasmus Dahlin makes 11 mil.
Yeah.
Bouchard just put up 82 points.
Yeah.
If Bouchard's camp isn't asking for more than 11 million, then they're not doing their job.
Right.
And I'm sure the Oilers are looking at it going, Cale Makar makes 9. So
Yes,
you
they
can't
are,
get too
of course.
crazy, right? So, I mean, like if somebody came to
Rasmus
Bouchard right
Dahlin.
now and said, here's 80 mil, do you take it or do you just go, you know what? I think next year I could be worth 96. So I'm going to ride it out.
If you're the Oilers, you're reminding Bouchard that he's got one more huge contract coming.
Yeah.
And maybe that appeases him. I'm sure his agent would be like, listen, man, let's try to get the most that we can get. Let's try to push the Oilers. Although, factor in, how much is an opportunity to win on Evan Bouchard's mind? Like, how much of that is his priority? Are you one of those guys that just wants to get paid and make bank? And then, I happen to play on a great team and I happen to get to a Stanley Cup final. If we don't win, I'm okay with it. Or are you driven by success, a championship, legacy? That kind of changes guys' outlooks on things too, right? Like with Draisaitl, he talked about it yesterday. He wants to win.
Yeah.
Best place to do it here. Bouchard, I'm assuming, is the same frame of mind. So maybe that
It'd be
helps
weird
bring the
not
cost
to.
up.
I mean, that's what that team should be now, right? Like, after your big guys talk like that,
Yeah.
everybody should fall in line,
You
I
would,
think.
yeah, exactly. And you know what? With Bouchard, maybe the ask is in the 11 range or whatever if he has another huge season. And he should have another huge season points-wise.
Oh, yeah.
How good is he defensively? We'll see. He started off slow like the rest of the team this past season. But you could also look to to Darnell Nurse to be like, okay, you will get more than him. You're more valuable. You play more minutes. So that's where we'll start and then work our way up, kind of thing. And then the ask could be high from Bouchard's camp, and then they find a way to meet in the middle. That's the way it could play out.
Chris, over on the Nasty Chat, if you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us and sub to the channel if you haven't already. We are just kind of getting in motion here for another Oilers season, and it's going to be a huge, huge year for Edmonton Sports Talk. We're 41 likes away from changing 100, so let's hammer through that. Hammer that thumbs up if you're watching right now. Chris says, Makar's next contract greater than sign Bouchard's contract, greater than sign Nurse's contract. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's probably how it's all going to work out. I mean, if Bouchard comes in at 11.5 and is the highest paid defenseman in the league, Makar's next contract is going to come in at 13. You know what I mean? Like, that's just sort of how it's going to work itself out.
I have seen some people being like, these numbers are astronomical. These are ridiculous numbers. And we have to remind ourselves The NHL, I think this year's 88.5 million is the cap. Somewhere around there, 87.5. It's gone up 5 mil. Like, we should be around 100 mil in 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
So the numbers are going up.
Yeah, Malcolm Alice said like 102 million
Yeah.
is what he, like,
So we are going to see these numbers go up, and we're going to be talking about McDavid getting 16 plus a year. And, we're obviously in hockey, we're way behind other leagues. There's no $62 million Steph Curry 1-year contract extension, but
you'd have to pay each of the other players on the roster $1 million.
Basketball.
That would be tough.
But it is tracking that way, and that's the price.
Let's get to this message from Brett B. Guys, I think I'd like to see what Bouchard looks like without Ekholm before finally signing him. I'd start the year with those two apart.
Now, that's an interesting point because are you trying to handicap him? Is that what?
Well, I think you're trying to be like, oh, can Bouchard be what he is with Ekholm, away from Ekholm?
I think.
But if he doesn't and you start slow, then you're sitting there going, oh, man, you kind of put behind the 8 ball just to see if Bouchard can play without Ekholm.
And I don't think that's putting your team in the best position to win on a nightly basis, too,
That's 100% not.
Yeah. Like,
those two are your best D pairing. You play them together.
I understand that rationale because this is big money. It has an effect, obviously, on the cap. They need to work their cap and massage it properly, but you also need to win games. And that's what this is all about. So I don't think they'll do that, but I understand why Brett B would suggest that.
Propane Pimp is in and says, this will be Bouchard's biggest contract. If he signs for 8 years, that'll take him to 33. So this is his prime contract. Yes, he'll get another good one.
Does
but it
he
won't
need
be
to
this
sign
big.
for 8? Maybe he wants to sign for 5.
Yeah, I mean, he could sign.
We'll find out. We'll find out. But
The Oilers they wouldn't want to sign him for just 5, though, right? Because you're going to be giving him a big number no matter what.
Yeah. But he has a say in this, obviously. And we've started to see a few more of these. I mean, Matthews being the one that comes to mind most recently.
So he's 24 right now. Could you get him on a 3-year deal? Because his UFA year is 2027. So he's on a contract again. So that'll take you to 2025. No, so there's not much wiggle room in there. Like, it would have to be like a 1-year.
Yeah.
Kind of a 1-year deal, or a 2-year deal would take you up to unrestricted free agency.
And Bergerler made this point in the inbox, said, I would remind Bouchard about Klingberg. 1 bad year. It's all in the pooper.
Yeah, but he's going to be rolling on the best power play in the league, and he's going to be putting up 45 to 50 points on the man advantage. Like, that might be a little high. But he's going to have a ton of points in the power play. So I understand the Klingberg. I mean, if Klingberg could go back and do it again, he'd take the bank, bro, or the bag, or whatever it is.
Brev.
He wants to make bank by getting the bag, bro. Brev.
Those honey buns.
Got to get the honey buns. You got to get so many honey buns.
Yeah, stacks.
So Klingberg would do it over again, but I think Bouchard's in an entirely different situation.
Yeah, I agree with that. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think you can just separate them just to see the value. I understand those of you who want to see Bouchard, but you're going to play Bouchard and Kulak together.
You'd be like, what are you?
And then,
or him and Nurse.
Him and Nurse together again. I don't know. I just feel like you play your best defensemen together and you continue to try to win a division and have home ice all the way through the playoffs. That to me is more important than seeing if Bouchard can
handle it on his own, carry a pairing. Yeah. I mean, at the end of this next contract that he likely signs with Edmonton, he's probably not paired up with Matthias Ekholm because Matthias Ekholm is 35 years old. Unless it is like a 4-year deal and Ekholm plays till 39, 40. Right?
Smitty the Welder says having 2 D-men at $9 million plus that need other protectors isn't very good.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't necessarily know that Bouchard. Well, I mean, it's the way the roster's constructed right now. You have Ekholm. I just don't know how you're supposed to not play those guys together just to get a feel for it. Like I think you're playing with fire a little bit there. Chadwick over on the Nasty Chat says $50 million for the top 4 is a tough fit. That being said, your top 4 is worth it. I said this. I was on 1050 this morning with Korolnik as I was driving in. And Like McDavid and Draisaitl's contracts, those aren't issues. The issues are not making stupid deals moving forward with these in place now. Not having a Darnell Nurse deal.
Yeah.
That like the Darnell Nurse is, probably about 1.5 to 2 million overpaid.
Correct.
If Darnell Nurse was making 7.5 right now, people would love him. I honestly think they would.
It would change the perspective.
Yeah, 100%. It's the extra 2 mil. So and that doesn't help them. And the extra 2 million will go a long way. So paying McDavid and Draisaitl $30 million combined, that has to happen. That's just business. When you have top end guys, has to happen. There's no discussion. There's no
0.125 with a clause.
Did you have to go 4 years in a no movement clause on that?
No.
What was the market going to be like? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You just got to be careful with those deals, and you should be fine. Tommy said the cap's going to go up significantly in the next few years. So, I mean, you got to do what you have to do in this next little window to try to win a cup the next couple of years. And if you can't do it then you have to make sure that you've been careful with the money along the way. Yeah.
I was just going to say, should we start rolling out rankings of importance next week?
I had it right here. It's written down.
Is
rankings of importance next week. No, I was going to go so we can get to it. How many Stanley Cups do you have to win in Draisaitl's next 9 years to view it as a success? Validate a good way to look at it.
Like, listen, I'll start with just one. Win it.
Got to get one.
You got to get one.
If they don't get one Stanley Cup with McDavid and Draisaitl, and they haven't for this long, it is an absolute failure. It just is. I know it's a tough trophy to win, but if you have those two guys for 15 to 18 years, you got to win a Stanley Cup.
And now they've been to the big dance. They've been close a couple of years ago going to the conference final. I think to appease oil country, and 25 years from now, people look back and be like, those were great times being an Oiler fan. A couple cups, 2, 3, if you can. Because we're going to look at Sidney Crosby's career and Chris Letang and Evgeny Malkin and be like, those guys did it, man. Those were great teams. Those were great players. They did it. Same with the Blackhawks. They had that 10-year window where they were tremendous, right? Like, they did it. We talked about them when they won 3 and 6. Is this the next dynasty? Didn't happen, obviously. So, one to be like, okay, they did it.
They got one.
But, and you're taking away the but if you win the second or even a third.
Yeah. The one guy in the chat I just saw said 2 cups would be viewed as successful. And I think one would be viewed at some level of success, but I would probably think there would be an overall disappointing feeling, even with those 2 guys, if their careers in Edmonton end and they only have one Stanley Cup.
And I fully recognize and understand that, and I don't disagree with it, but at least, you could say they got one, right? And you can't take that one away. And I think, who was it that made was it Gager that talked about Ovechkin? Or was it you that brought it up?
Yeah, Gager brought up Ovechkin. Ovechkin got one. He got one.
Right? And people will look at him and be like, he did it.
He was
and
a champion.
He's likely to become the highest scoring player of all time, best goal scorer ever. I think, God bless Wayne Gretzky. The best player of all time is Wayne Gretzky. But he's not the greatest goal scorer, although he scored the most goals. It is Ovechkin. And he did it losing so many games, not to injury.
Yeah.
But to lockouts and a worldwide pandemic. And so.
All right, that's going to do it for the Oil Stream today. Of course, brought to you by Boston Pizza. Still beautiful weather this week. And summer is short. Hockey season's just around the corner, so hammer that BP patio occasion as much as you can. Hop into BP patio today. Try their new summer menu. Fresh eats, drinks to fuel all of your sunny patio hangs. We've got, oh man, I love saying this.
What are you saying, Brett?
We've got EST afternoons coming up with Hernan Salas.
Everybody's
Hernan
here.
Hernan is like a boxer, like waiting to go out. I love it. Hernan and Gager from 1 to 3 today, and then Reed Wilkins and Jay Milne on the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 until 6 today.
I love how the boys all gather in the conference room and they're like brainstorming, talking about, they tell stories. It's like a locker.
I'll tell you right now, that boardroom over there with the 4 guys working on their shows is probably the most productive pre-show conversation that happens at any sports station in the country.
We never even had that.
Like we know how it works. Like those guys, how hard they're working on these shows, man. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Great stuff.
Love it.
That's going to do it for the Oil Stream today. Rankings of importance will begin next week right here on the Oil Stream as well. Next Oil Stream coming at you Friday at noon. It's all presented to you by Boston Pizza. For Tom Gazzola, I'm Dustin Nielsen. EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager on the way next.